But we'll go through and let's just do round entry first. Um, Obviously, everybody kind of knows, date, tournament type, holes, qualifying. You can obviously put any tournament name you want in there. And if you're playing, especially if you're playing college golf, it's really important that you put in your tournament name because you can track it better.
And if you do forget to do that, you can go under scores where you edit your rounds, and you can actually add tournament rounds inside of scores as well.
Just about everything in here, you can go back afterwards and fix it later, which we do kind of all the time. Most of this is pretty straightforward. If you don't understand one of the terms, if you just hover over the top of the metric name, it'll tell you what to put in. I think everybody kind of understands the scoring part. 2 under, 4 birdies, 2 bogeys, no doubles, and let's say 1 under on the par 5s. Fairways and greens are really straightforward. GameForge, the big thing to realize there is it's not just par 5s. It also includes short par 4s. But it also, you don't have to hit the green for it to be a GameForge. A GameForge just means you're not laying up and you're hitting it as closest to the green as possible. Usually it's within about 40 yards or so. So we're going to say he went for it 2 times. Doesn't matter on this number whether you hit the green or not. It's just he attempted to go for it twice. Fairways are really straightforward. Now, the big thing here is when we get into greens and our approach proximities, we want to start kind of at the overall green level and work our way down closer and closer to the hole is the best way I've heard people describe how they think about it. So let's say, I hit 14 greens, and then the next question is, how many of those were inside 40 feet? And I'm going to say 12 were inside 40 feet. And of those 12 inside 40 feet total, I made a total of 4 birdies. So that's everything inside 40 feet. Then we go to impositions. How many of those 12 are inside 20 feet? I'm going to say 8 of them are inside 20 feet. And the total number of birdies I made inside 20 feet was also 4. Okay, make sense so far? So basically I'm saying all my birdies were inside 20 feet. If I put a 3 there, that would mean that I made 3 birdie putts inside 20 feet and 1 outside 20 feet, because there's one greater conversion for the effective greens than for the impositions. So we'll just say 4 and 4, which is pretty standard. Of the 8 inside 20 feet, how many were inside 8 feet? We're going to say 2, and I made both of those. Okay, so that's really kind of the stickiest part of the system when you first start using it, is just how do you separate out your approach rings. Just remember to start on the outside and work in. Total putts is easy, 29 putts, 7 1 putts, no 3 putts, bombs, no bombs, didn't make anything outside 20 feet. All right, now P6, the other conversion number here. Every time you miss the green in regulation, so we would have missed 4 greens in regulation, how many of those did you hit within 6 feet for your par save? I'm going to say 2. Of those, I made 1 of them. So I made 1 6-footer and in, I missed 1 6-footer and in. And our scrambling of the 4 that greens you missed in regulation, how often do you say par? And I'm going to say twice. It's going to automatically calculate my scrambling number at 50%. Then the rest, chip-ins, disruptors, penalties, those are just defaults to 0 because more likely than not, those are zeros. Disruptors, the way to think about those are any kind of lie condition that prevents you from playing the hole the way you want to play it. So we really consider balls and divots, plug lies, balls behind trees or bushes, things like that. They're not penalties, but they're really kind of messing up your approach shot to the hole, and we just include those in there as a good metric. Sometimes those go up and down depending on fairways, how good your tee balls are. You'll see those kind of rise and fall. And then one thing we've just added recently is we've got a notes section where for each individual round, you can put a notes. So I'll say ball striking was good, missed, like the old game, missed a few short ones. Anything you want, just put in your notes. And then you can either add that round by itself, which is the minimum we require for GameForge, is just those metrics right there. So if I add approach shots also, it's going to add what we just did, and then it's going to allow me to go in hole by hole and say, what was my approach lie, the approach distance, and then if you put in your putt distances, it will automatically figure out your impositions and blackjacks and effective greens. Right, so if you go through each one of those, and we'll show you what metrics you get. We'll show you what kind of charts you get if you enter your approach data. It's not required, but if you have some, it's really, really useful. I'm not going to bother going through all 18 of these, but you get the idea there. If you miss the green irregulation, so let's say on hole 2, we came out of the fairway bunker from 175, missed the green irregulation, and now it's going to ask me, my approach lie will say was from the rough, hit it inside 6 feet, and let's say it was 25 yards out. And the first putt was 4 feet. So you can also add your scrambling lies and scrambling proximities, which will also show up in a graph. So that's basically all the round entry. Like I said, the big thing is to get your conversions correct, and there's a number of data entry checks in there where if you don't put in the right numbers that don't make sense, it'll throw you an error and kind of tell you what needs to go be fixed. So then once that's added, if you go to scores, you'll see the score we just added was right there. But if you want to change anything, you hit the edit button. There's a little edit button under the date. And now I can go in there and say, oh, I forgot to record the tournament. Or if I want to change some numbers, and then you can put that in there. Similarly, if you want to delete it, there's a delete button right there, top left. Delete rounds. If you delete it, there is no way to get it back. So make sure you want to delete it, because once it's gone forever.